something else. Don't worry about it. Don't go back to church. Don't worry about watching the video. Who cares? It's not real church. It's just online. Just, isn't your life easier? You don't have to wake the kids up this morning. You don't have to hear them fight and grumble as you try to put them in dresses and suits. Just stay at home and enjoy your Sunday. Forget about the church. The greatest thing that's happened is a lot more people in our country have access to hear the gospel because they can turn it online. They can watch Soundside. They can watch many other churches. Okay? But the worst thing that has happened is that they can be lazy when it comes to church. They can control how they do church. They can turn on and turn off. They don't have to come. They don't have to fellowship. And eventually, church gets pushed to the side. So if you're not in this place, make sure your heart is still in this place. Any of you here, I know a couple of y'all have been coming here and worshiping with us, and you have other churches for various reasons you can't worship there. Please make sure your heart's in your church. Okay, Paul was in jail. Paul was in jail, and he's crying for this church. And he's worried to death for this church. And he's sending people to this church to try to make sure they're okay. And if you can be in prison, on your knees, crying and praying about a church, then you can be at home doing the same thing. Okay? And I'm not just saying, please send your tithing checks. And I'm not saying, please come here so our numbers look better. And I'm not saying, please come here because we're trying to fight the government's mandates. What I'm saying is, if you're not here, don't be in the world. Please still be here in heart and spirit. This is still your church. Every family out there listening to me that hasn't been able to come back, this is still your church and we still love you. Make sure this is not an excuse. Make sure you cannot come here because you have a very good excuse. And we'll support you 100%. But this cannot be secondary. This place cannot be secondary. This place cannot be last on your list to return. You can't return to vacations and grocery stores and going out to eat and trips and return to everything else in the world and put church in the last place. I don't know about you, church, but I need this place. I need this. And I'm not against any family who's scared right now. I trust that God will lead your family to make the best decision for them. Your family's not my family, and God will lead you to what you need. But make sure it's God. And I would tell you that even if it wasn't COVID, even if you're just sitting home for a few weeks, I would tell you the same thing. You make sure God is the one telling you to stay at home. Because sometimes, friends, the devil can sound a lot like God when he's playing on what you want, on your sinful desires. There's a lot of people who has committed adultery and things in this world. They thought they were doing the right thing. They thought they were doing what felt right, didn't they? Okay? If the devil told you, oh, that's going to be bad, don't do that, we'd probably have a little less sin in the world. But the Bible tells us sin is pleasurable. And let me tell you, when my demons are sitting there going, Daddy, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get ready for church. It'd be so much easier just to say, lay there. When you get up later, we'll watch it on the computer. It's a lot easier. But it doesn't make it okay. And I'll move on and end this. If you're not here, make sure you're still here. Make sure you're home because God says you need to be home. And make sure this place is still your church, still your family. You still care, and you're still praying, and you're still seeking the Lord for this place. If you'll play something for a minute, I'm going to close up with that.